Alright guys, so here we are going to test a new product that I'm kind of excited about called Skimmer Motion Xtreme. Here we have a pool that it's just a little difficult to manage. As you can see, there's quite a bit of surface debris in this particular pool, and it's mostly due to the landscaping, which is completely out of the owner's control as well. These trees back here flanking this back wall are owned by an HOA, and he can't do much to trim these. The rest of the yard is pretty well kept. So all these leaves are from those trees. So we are going to try this product specifically to get rid of this surface debris, because we've been having trouble with the existing skimmer here, being able to capture that debris. If you find yourself in a situation where you've got a lot of surface debris to handle, and the skimmer just isn't cutting the mustard, I'm hoping that this product works well for us and that we can provide you with some positive feedback from it over the course of the next couple weeks. Today we're going to go over how to install it and our initial impressions of this particular device. So in order to start the install, we need to make sure that all of the baskets are clean on the suction side going to the pool cleaner, because it does attach to the actual pool cleaner. Tap this out over here. Plenty of leaves getting caught up in that pool cleaner. So now we're going to clean out the pump basket as well. It actually doesn't look like much is in there, so just going to double check the impeller. Yep, nothing in there. Okay. Reseat this pump lid. Alright, now we're probably going to have to adjust the suction, but we'll get to that when we get to the installation. Now our next step here is to stretch out the hose and get rid of any memory that might be present. Alright. This also works sometimes with the actual vacuum hoses. I've got a nice straight hose there. The ballasts appear to go one at the end of the first length of hose, about here. Right there, and the second ballast appears to go right here. Now for a play pool, it says pools under 8 feet deep. We're going to be connecting straight off of the very first hose length. So this tapered fitting here goes right into the hose there, and this is what's going to go down on the cleaner end. And then the other end connects directly into the bottom of this skimmer pot. So the premise here is it's using the suction that's going to coming from the pool cleaner to pull through the bottom of this chamber here. Debris enters in through the side, and you've actually got what is a Maxi 1 basket, apparently, that's hooked up to a floating weir. So this particular piece here goes in the center of this basket. There are some tabs here. You just put the tabs in where this little gap is here, and then you twist this to the left to lock it. Okay, so now it's locked, and this just drops straight in here like that. It's pretty simple actually, so that's kind of cool. Just from the design of this, it's actually pretty substantial. I was a little surprised by that, if I'm being honest. It's also made in the United States, which is something that you don't really run into these days, especially with mass-produced plastic products. So I'm not really worried about whether or not this is going to work, because the design seems pretty solid. What I am worried about is how much debris this is going to collect, whether or not it's going to impede the performance of the pool cleaner, and in addition to that, and more importantly, is I'm a little worried about how much it's going to impact the overall flow rate in the pool. When we add a pool cleaner to a pool, it impacts it quite enough on its own. You're adding additional length of hoses for the water to travel through, so you're increasing the amount of resistance in the system. Not only that, but this is 1.25" piping essentially, so it's smaller than even the 1.5" you have on on older suction lines. These days, most suction lines are made out of 2-inch PVC, sometimes 2.5, to accommodate a more modern flow rate. So that's the main thing I'm worried about, is how much of an impact this is going to have on the well-being of the pool because of a reduction in flow rate. But we'll just have to see. All right, so we are going to pull the pool cleaner up. So you've got a male and a female end to this adapter. The smaller or tapered end goes into the female end of the hose. The female end of the adapter goes into the male end of the hose. And then we're just going to put this part of the tubing straight onto that. Also kind of curious to see if this falls off or anything during the course of a normal run. And this piece is going to go straight on here, and it's supposed to just chill right there. So yeah, that's that floating weir. So when we apply suction to this, it's going to suck that weir down partially, and you're going to see water rushing in. And as the pool cleaner moves around the pool, hopefully you know, it's going to take care of some of that surface debris. So far so good. Let's check it out. Let's get the pump primed up and let's go. We're going to relieve the air here as get it all primed up, get all the air out of there. A nice steady stream of water, no air. Alright, let's see what we look like with our current settings. The instructions indicate that we need to provide enough suction to the pool cleaner to pull that weir 1/3 of an inch underwater. So we need to see that white plastic piece actually submerged partially, or it's not going to do its job. Like you see right now, I don't know how detailed it is, but it's definitely not pulling anything in because it's above the water line. So let's go increase our suction. Now this one's easy. It's got a valve. You know, we can just differentiate between pool suction and pool cleaner with a 3-way Jandy valve. However, you know, if you're installing this on a pool with a skimmer regulator or something like that, you're going to have to make sure that you adjust that regulator up or down. So we're going to shut off the skimmer a little bit and the main drain a little bit and see little by little, see if we can sink that floating weir. Oh, there we go. We just pulled in some debris. I don't think it's quite enough. It is working, which is encouraging. The pool cleaner almost submerged the unit because of how hard it was tugging on it, and the hose does not seem to have any kind of swivel on the adapter, so this could be a problem moving forward. And honestly, this pool cleaner is moving very fast right now compared to what it should be or normally would be. So it is also possible that a device like this, once given enough flow, might you know, create a little bit of additional wear and tear on your pool cleaners. But you know, again, you can't have a pool looking like this either, so it is a trade-off. I'm going to turn up the suction a little bit more because it's not sinking that weir. Now you can kind of hear, I don't know if you can hear the difference in the pump, but as we reduce that relief from the water coming through the skimmer, or as we increase the amount of resistance in the suction line, because we're channeling more of it from the pool cleaner, you can hear the pump laboring. And that, you know, when you hear that sound, that typically means that you are indeed flowing less water. Because you don't have full prime. You're introducing what's called cavitation to the pump. It is collecting debris. It's just not pulling that weir down as much as I would like. And that may change as the pool cleaner changes positions throughout the pool. But I have a feeling that this device needed a larger tube in order to increase the suction going to it. But if you put a larger tube on that, then it's going to take more suction from the pool cleaner, which creates its own issues. Well, look at it go there. It is pulling that stuff in there. It appears to be working at least reasonably well. I'm afraid to turn the suction up more, just from what the directions state. I believe we do need to bump up the suction a little bit more. I will probably leave it that way, and because I think if we go up too much, we may have an issue where the pool cleaner's coming up and out of the water. You know, it may tangle the hoses. So I'm going to leave it as is, and we're going to see how full that basket is when the technician returns next week. And we'll see if it needs to be turned up or down from there. But there you have it in a nutshell. That is the Skimmer Motion Xtreme, and it does appear to be working. I would love to see some results over the next couple of days. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our technician take some pictures of what's loaded up into the basket when he returns to the site for his weekly service. Alright guys, well, that's it for this video. Hope to have an update for you soon.